Welcome to the show, the real talk truth show. and It's been another long hot day here, but I do not have to work tomorrow unless I get called in. Somebody did get fired today, uh, but there's that. But he said he shouldn't need me tomorrow. All right. So anyway, I went to work upset this morning about this COVID thing and the mask and all that good stuff. I made a video this morning. If you didn't catch it, and just a quick little message there. I just found this a few minutes ago, and I'm gonna share it. I have not watched, but only a few seconds of it really. And it's some doofus made a wear a mask video. There's plenty of these out there. But anyway, we're gonna take a look at it real quick, just to laugh at him. And I'm sure he's pushing wearing the mask. Good to see anybody and everybody that's here, though I'm not looking, so I don't know. But if you're here, welcome. Glad to have you. All right, here we go.
Just wanted to let you guys know there's a new law in town because, when I was out today, I saw some people just aren't aware yet. So, here you go.
I was in line at the LCBO today, then this guy walks up with no mask on, eh? Security said, hey buddy, there's a mask law in effect. The guy said, whoa pal, I had no clue, what the heck? If you take a look around, signs are everywhere, man, you should see them all over, but I guess they're kind of bland. Hey, sorry big guy, I'll bring a mask next time. This guy was nice, not like the whiners online. I see people on socials freaking out like crazy. I'm not wearing one of those, I have rights and I'm lazy.
Fuck politics.
It's about safety to protect the high risk like seniors and babies.
Because, they got weaker immune systems there. Maybe, cells aren't as strong as they should be, so you got to look out for them.
Who cares how it looks? Jacques Plante never gave a fuck. First one to wear a mask to save his mug from the puck. Back in that time, he looked kinda crazy. Who is this plug? Why care about safety? Now, all the attendees wearing masks on their noggins. Yeah, it's a different mask, but you get what I'm dropping. Same thing, different field. Same premise, different shield. Wear a mask, cover your face to protect the human race.
Holy, that's bars, eh?
Bullshit.
Bar down, top cheese while the attendee's on his knees. I could go all day, bud.
Come on, bud. This isn't really that hard. Just wear a mask so they can open the bars.
Look at that. Bars again, eh? It's
Sick.
I think it's a good time to end it. I feel like I'm spitting too much fire. And that's the whole point. We don't really want to be spitting. That's why we wear masks. Cover up your face. You don't want to spit everywhere. That's what gets people sick. And it's not, they make masks, for all different types of people, all different designs, colors, cool things. So it's not hard to find one that works, They got comfy ears, they got, the things that go around your neck to save
Retarded.
your ears. Wear a scarf. I really don't care. Just, if you're out in public, put a mask on. That's the important thing here. Yeah. Wear a mask, bud.
Unbelievable.
I hate my life. I just want this fucking song done. I'm pressing this thing. It doesn't click. It's clicked now.
Okay, so this is what, the third time?
It's on. It's just recording.
Is it recording?
Yes.
Turn the light on, it's not on.
What a joke. Man, I gotta pray some Christian nap. COVID's a lie, just because that was garbage.
each and every day. They're sheltered in place. It's another hoax. How the rulers get so bold, disrupting all our lives to increase their control. But the truthers, we're gonna stand up and fight, 'cause we know it, COVID's alive. We know it, COVID's alive.
Woo!
Look at all the sheep with the masks in the days, walking right off the cliff. We're gonna go our separate ways. They'll do just what they're told, stay locked down in their place until their science saves the day. A needle from the master will case. But the truthers, we're gonna stand up
and fight.
'cause we know it,
COVID's alive.
'cause we know it,
COVID's alive. Just ask me why. Cause we're truthers.
Across the pandemic streets, with the camera in our hands, see empty hospitals and things we just can't understand. We look into the facts and the stories we're being told. We ain't taking no shots, so let our minds be controlled. 'Cause the truthers gonna stand up and fight, 'cause we know it,
COVID's alive.
we know it, COVID's alive. Know it, COVID's alive. No way, COVID's alive. COVID's alive, yeah.
Yes, it is a huge freaking fat lie. It's a seasonal flu, folks. Hyped up. Got everybody all hyped up and worked up and ready to comply. So check it out here. This is the Escambia County School Board. I live in Escambia County. This is my county. This was today, and a couple hours ago. Yeah, it blew me away that I watched teacher after teacher or person that is related to a teacher or whatever from my county stand there, and one after another said, yes, we all need to wear mask. It's ridiculous. All right, I might skip around in this a little bit, but we are going to play some. I'm going to speed it up to the playback. All right, so just check this out.
It is the board's practice that if someone were to pull something from the consent agenda, we will pull that item ourselves. Remember that the consent agenda items include curriculum and instruction, finance and business
Doctor.
services, Human Resources and Operations.
Hey, West Texas.
But you must
Says, man.
submit your speaker form before we get to the consent agenda portion of our meeting. The meeting was properly advertised in the Pensacola News Journal on July 1st, 2020. Legal notice number 4209841. It is the tradition of this Escambia County School Board to begin our meeting with an invocation or a motivational moment followed by the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. This month, Dr. Edler will lead us. Dr. Edler?
Thank you, Madam Chair. It is my honor to introduce to some of you and present to others of you Dr. Floyd Peacock. He is the pastor of the New Birth Baptist Church of Pensacola. He has a congregation that is very friendly and very community-minded. Dr. Peacock, would you please come
Hey,
forward?
Rasta. Good to see you. Yo. 28 minutes till 4:20 somewhere. All right, so check this out.
Heads. Father, once again, we come with bowed heads and humble hearts, thanking you for your many blessings. We thank you, Lord, for this meeting today. And as we open this meeting, we pray, oh God, that you would allow our hearts and our minds to knit together as one, knowing, oh Lord, that if you're in our midst, we know that everything is going to be all right. We pray.
Okay, if he could say that, if he could say, Lord, we know, Lord, if you're in our midst, that everything's going to be all right, then why are you wearing a mask? Why are you living in fear? Why are you promoting living in fear? If you have the Lord in your life and you ain't, and you say everything's going to be all right. Yeah, my butt.
Pray, oh God, for
someone muted you. Press star 6 to unmute.
Pray, oh Heavenly Father, for all the committee members and everyone that has taken place in this meeting. We pray, oh God, that you would let everything be done decent and in order. For we know, oh Heavenly Father, that as long as you're in charge, everything is going to be all right. We pray for every speaker today, God. We ask you to
exactly, Machine Monkey. Sorry I haven't gotten up with you. It's been a rough evening.
They speak, let them speak with
you unmuted yourself.
We pray, oh Heavenly Father, for all of the families that have been affected by the COVID-19 virus. We pray for them. Give them comfort right now. Our children right now, God, just be with them and let them know, God, that you are still in charge. We thank you right now, Lord. We love you. We praise you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. If you would please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands
una sola nación bajo Dios,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. You may be seated.
Sorry about that background noise. That's not on my end.
Mr. Fetzko, we're able to hear you.
Oh, that was terrible.
Mr. Fetzko?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Approved 5-0.
Keep me on track, folks. At this time, our next item of business committee and departmental reports. We have our PTA presentation. We have the new Escambia County Council PTA PTSA's president with us, Samaris Kerwin, and I believe is Sarah, your vice president. You'll tell me what her title is.
She's my first VP.
Okay, be sure you speak. You can't.
All right, so these are the teachers and like spouses of teachers and you know, and even it doesn't. There is some people that aren't, you know, teacher or related to teachers too. But anyway, anybody could stand up there and say something. Like if I'd have went, you know, I could have, you know, said something too. All right. So anyway, every single one of these people, teachers and whatnot, are going to say that kids need to be wearing masks when they go back to school. And I'm just blown a freaking way about that. Let's just mask every single kid, healthy kid, and then just, you know, oh my gosh, it's disgusting. They're gonna be in school all day wearing this mask, and it's gonna compromise their immune systems, and then they're all gonna end up sick when the regular flu season comes around, the cold season. And, you know, they're going to exploit that and say, see, we need a vaccine, and so on. But this is just unbelievable to me, to how many people in my county, my city, you know, my city in Florida, Pensacola, are buying into this and complying with this. And I'm telling you, it's the same stuff all over the United States, pretty much, man. This is not good. People are complying just too easy to this.
It's been proven they cannot pass it to an adult. So the fears, I'd like to see where they're coming from and hear, feedback from, your outputs of what's going on. It's just, I just don't agree with it. I mean, if I can go to work every day and not know what I'm taking care of and put myself at risk, school teachers are the same entity. They take the same oath we take to protect and teach our children. I take an oath to protect and serve. My son-in-law took an oath to protect and serve at the sheriff's department. My brother-in-law's a fireman. We're all out there 24/7 taking care of this community. I'm asking you to take care of our children and put them back in school where they belong. Well, I'm done.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
with
Ms.
mask all day long.
Carol Cleaver, but wait, yeah. And Carol, there, Lizetta Guttery and Mason Guttery are donating their time, correct? Yes.
Oh yeah, you see what they're doing? They're taking the time to after each person they're wiping down the whole crap, and they'll tell you later in this too. They've already spent $75,000 for local schools on wipes and stupid what I call it, that hand sanitizer. Yeah, here we go.
I have a question. I was, Mr.
I really don't even want to watch this all again, but I really need for you guys to see that the percentage of people that, are just buying this, it's just too many. The very last guy that goes up and talks is the only one that said, this is absurd. Only one person out of all this whole stinking board meeting
donated his time so I could speak to something on the agenda. Do I?
Oh, okay. Let me look. This is the public forum.
So would you like me to come back up a second time for that separate item?
Okay. Well, so is he donating his time to you to speak now or when you talk about the other item?
Donating it for the agenda item.
Okay. So, but you are taking his.
I'm taking Lizette.
Okay.
Guttery's
So you get
time.
6 minutes is what you're getting.
Getting 6 minutes right now, 3
And then you'll
minutes
get
for the
6.
agenda.
Okay. Do you have another speaker form in here that I don't know about that says you're speaking to the agenda item?
No, I wasn't aware.
Just
School
talk.
District. It will take the partnership of communities, counties, states, and our nation. We must hold our leaders accountable to keeping us safe. I would like to end by asking the board to recognize all the people in the room and outside of the room tonight that care about the health and safety of our students. When we return to schools, we need help from you. We need students mandated to wear masks, and we need cleaning supplies guaranteed in every single teacher's classroom and all buses. We need those
No mask. Teacher, leave those kids alone.
cleaning supplies in our classrooms. We are willing to do our parts. I will wipe down my desks. I just need the supplies to do it. We love our students and we are devastated by these realities. It breaks my heart to know that I will not be shepherding new 6th graders around Ferry Pass Middle School this August, and that I won't be getting them used to middle school, and that I won't be getting them excited about science.
She's a teacher at a school about a mile from my house. No, not even a mile. Not even a mile. A quarter mile.
Experiments, I'm not happy about that. I want to be at work. But while I am saddened at these facts, I don't want to live with the probable and potential deaths that will come if we open schools without safety in mind first. We must ignore the rhetoric, and we must use data and reason as our guidelines. Please do not open brick and mortar schools before our positivity rate is below 5% and case numbers have declined for 2 weeks in a row. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Cleaver. Our next speaker will be Hannah Ard.
Oh, let me tell you, all of these people wearing a mask are doing it on their own. You don't have to wear a mask in there. You're going to see that. I don't even know if this guy right here I don't even think he's wearing one or him. So, yeah, I mean, you do not have to wear a mask. But yet 90% of the people, if not 95 or more, of the people in this courtroom right here, meeting room, are wearing a mask voluntarily. Ugh.
And Tracy, sorry.
But I did want to talk on an issue that is near and dear to me. It's very nice to have somebody clean the podium for us in between each speaker, but in the classroom we don't have that luxury. And so when we have social distancing in here, we don't have that luxury in a classroom. We will have students in every single classroom closer together than what is displayed in here. It's just not feasible. It won't happen. When we talk about cleaning our schools and having extra hand sanitizer and having extra cleaning supplies, since I've been a teacher, I haven't had my room cleaned ever. The trash has been taken out. It's never been swept. It's never been cleaned. And so the image that we're giving that we're cleaning is really teachers don't have faith in that. Teachers don't have faith that we're really will have cleaning supplies, and we will have janitors. Janitors are paid minimum wage. They're always short staffed. They're never around. So typically we do all of our own cleaning, and then I work very closely with our teachers who are on my campus. And so daily in the past few weeks, I've had teachers call me every day. Hey, Hannah, I think I'm going to, resign. Hey, I'm going to put my leave of absence in. Hey, I can't deal with it anymore. And so as we approach the school year, the high rate of teachers quitting and putting in their leave of absence and retiring is an alarming rate. The teachers who haven't done it yet and the teachers who already have are combining daily. And I feel like if we don't continue to reevaluate, we do have a pushback date. It's great. I think that gave us some hope. I think a mask mandate would give us some hope. But as far as teachers who are actually going to be in the classroom this school year compared to what we're looking at is going to be an astronomical difference, because they are looking for other jobs. I'm looking for another job. I'm looking for other resources. I'm looking for other income. Both my kids are going to be learning remotely. They're not going to school. And so I feel like as we continue to reevaluate, if health and safety of our students is really important, we really will give that extra effort to have cleaning supplies.
They wouldn't let you. Bro, they won't let you. They're going to have mandatory everybody wearing a mask. Teachers, staff, faculty, kids. They're not going to let anybody in the school without a mask.
Would love to have cleaning supplies in our room, but for it to actually happen is something that we feel is doubtful. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I think the last person in line back there is Sarah Brummett, correct? Okay, so Courtney Robinson, while we're cleaning, Alex Rigsby and Chelsea Alberda. Sorry if I'm mutilating your names. Apologize.
Other stakeholders of our schools. I considered not even coming and speaking tonight as a result, but I decided that I needed to come down here and thank you in person for your decision. We're all on the same team.
Oh, thank you so much
keeping
for
our students
saving
happy,
us.
healthy, and educated. Delaying the start of school will give teachers the much-needed opportunity to develop effective and engaging.
They did vote to delay opening school, I guess, by a little bit or something, so they can get all this crap figured out. But this is just absurd.
Remote learning practices, as well as give our community time to respond appropriately to the virus. I haven't seen my students since March 13th, and I think about them every day. I wear my mask, and I encourage others to wear theirs so that I can return to my second home,
Hey, Patrick,
my classroom,
good to
as
see
soon
you.
as possible. I can't wait to see my students in person, but for the time being, I recognize how lucky we are to have the technology to teach remotely in our district, thanks especially to the Superintendent's Vision 2020 initiative. As chairperson of the new educator committee and fire
2020
chapter of the Escambia
Vision.
Education Association, I speak on behalf of all the
Imagine
new
that.
teachers in our district when I say thank you for giving us time to prepare and be safe.
Thank you. And I have Jason Straub is the next. Oh, okay.
It'd be Melody.
That will improve our immune system in the event that we get the virus so that we can fully recover. Breathing in carbon dioxide all day does the exact opposite. It decreases our immunity greatly, putting us at even a greater risk.
Oh, hold on. I didn't know this lady was against it. Hold on. Let me back up here. Yeah, I must have missed her.
And you are speaking, yes, public forum, yes.
Thank you for listening and considering another perspective that many teachers have concerning masks. Mr. Thomas, thank you for coming up with 3 options that give people the right to make a choice they feel is best for their family. Let me preface my point of view with I'm in no way negating the need for masks when social distancing can't be accomplished. For those not comfortable teaching face-to-face, they're given an option. There are many of us who oppose mandating the use of masks all day. This goes against our belief that herd immunity is what will get us through this. As you know, herd immunity allows our bodies to breathe in fresh oxygen and antibodies that will improve our immune system in the event that we get the virus so that we can fully recover. Breathing in carbon dioxide all day does the exact opposite. It decreases our immunity greatly, putting us at even a greater risk. Wearing masks all day creates a whole host of negative effects and illness. It affects the brain with less oxygen, creates a carbon dioxide toxicity. Masks can hold bacteria that will get into your lungs and make you even more sick. And low oxygen in your blood makes it even harder.
Yeah, David, I didn't even know that besides the last person that we're going to see, I didn't know there was another person that was actually not wearing a mask and was speaking basically against it. But she did say she's for it if there's no social distancing. Anyway, but yeah, for the most part, she's speaking again. She's telling the truth about the wearing it all day.
To fight off the virus if we ever were to get it. Doctors have found that 44% of the viral particles still pass through the mask. Instruction with masks will decrease the understanding of the lesson, which will lead to increased frustration when instruction on a daily basis can already be a challenge. Much of the instruction includes body language too. Our children rely on us to see praise and feedback just by our face. That will be lost. If masks are mandated, that will create a disruption where children are playing with it, touching their face 10 times more, or parents are complaining if a child doesn't have one. We're focusing on masks when there is a 99% success rate of healing from the virus. We didn't do that during flu season. A doctor in Ireland did an extensive study in Ireland where when they went back to school, the transmission rate was 1%. Mandating is such a strong verb. It means that you're taking my and my students' rights away from me to keep my body healthy. Those who choose to wear a mask have that right too. Those not comfortable being on campus around others get to teach remote. But what about my wish to increase my immunity and avoid carbon dioxide toxicity? We're focusing on mandating masks when the percentage rate of transmission is low. Sports and daycares have resumed with no problem. Denmark and Norway have already gone back to school with no masks with little transmission. I simply want to make the point that we want the right to make the choice for ourselves when social distancing is in place. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Johnson.
Okay, they got to clean the podium again. So, all right, but he's ready.
Good evening.
Yeah.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the board. Thank you very much for allowing me to speak to you.
I didn't hear him neither.
Dr. Jason
so.
Straub, a pediatrician with Pensacola Pediatrics. One of my partners, Dr. Tony Petronero, is with me as well.
Oh, he's a doctor. Oh boy, here we go. Got a doctor in the house.
Partners outside of the room. We're the largest private pediatric group in Northwest Florida. 21 providers, 6 locations in Escambia and Santa Rosa County.
He's a
offer a statement from our
He's
group.
a pediatrician. He's a kid's doctor, so he's going to be well versed about kids and all this. Watch this. I have not seen this. I haven't heard this guy anyway. I heard him say there was a doctor, and I should have checked it out, but I already know he's retarded.
Regarding the current state of affairs, talking about opening of schools in the middle of this pandemic. So in general, children do fairly well with this virus. We're aware of that. There are exceptions. Some children get extremely sick. Also, it does not look like they're huge spreaders of the virus. However, it does occur. Recently, a very large study came out from South Korea that shows that children 10 to 18 do not have a decreased rate of transmission. They transmit the virus just as much as adults do. So the notion that the older children are not going to be spreading it is false, apparently. We are very concerned about this. Based on the current rise of cases in our community, the dramatic jump in the number of cases in Florida and Escambia and Santa Rosa and Pensacola, we are very concerned that as schools reopen, case numbers will continue increasing beyond what our local medical community is equipped to handle. This virus will spread not only to students, but to their caretakers, teachers, and school staff as well. Taking this into consideration, we can support those families who make the choice of keeping their children at home to minimize the expected rapid rise of cases. There are some children who can safely and successfully participate in at-home learning in some form. We fully realize that this is not an option available for all families. In general, though, the fewer students physically present in the brick and mortar buildings, the safer it will be for all concerned. Fewer students in the classroom will make it easier for teachers and staff to practice and enforce the necessary health measures needed to try to minimize spread. Our practice supports delaying the opening of schools in Escambia County, and we appreciate that the superintendent has recommended this. At a minimum, we also recommend schools also require mandatory mask wearing. A mask recommendation will result in children not wearing masks. If you recall your high school days, peer pressure is
Good evening,
very strong.
Jennifer. Welcome.
Thankfully, as a pediatrician in the office, I wear a mask all day long, 8 hours a day. Thank goodness I don't have problems with carbon dioxide building up in my system. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I think you do, buddy. I think you do. I think you got some serious problems from wearing that mask. Oh, dear. All right. We got another young teacher here coming up next.
For this coming school year, based off the pitfalls of last school year, unfortunately, that did not happen. Now, thankfully, you're postponing school for 2 weeks, and I hope that you use that time to consider a virtual school plan. Because even with this additional time and the improved mask guidelines, this is return to school plan will be a recipe for disaster unless and
What
until
the
you commit to a
hell?
virtual only approach, much like
She's wearing a socialism shirt. Party for Socialism and Liberation. Oh my goodness. Do you see that? Party for Socialism and Liberation.
our
Oh,
neighbors
dear.
immediately to the north in Mobile. Virtual as an option creates a false sense of security and puts the onus on individual families to make the choice on what is a collective issue. Too many teachers will be forced back into unsafe environments, expected to risk their lives and their families' lives by teaching in an unsafe classroom setting where social distancing will be impossible. There are no plans for protecting students on the buses or in hallways or at lunch, no plans for protecting bus drivers, custodians, and so on. There's absolutely no plan for replacing teachers that get sick and have to quarantine amidst a severe substitute teacher shortage. I will not be subbing this year. Presumably, classes will have to double up, crowding kids even further. And I shouldn't have to remind anyone in this room that Florida has become the global epicenter for COVID-19. Pensacola is one of the top 10 hotspots for new cases in the entire country. Failure Act means
You're just parroting what the mainstream media says. It's garbage. It's bull crap.
we will see super spreader events throughout the district every day. Our COVID-19 numbers will rise exponentially. Our hospitals, which are already near capacity, will be overwhelmed. People will die.
Ooh, look at me. I can memorize fake data numbers. Ooh.
Unnecessarily, and others will face permanent organ damage and other complications. School district officials seem to believe that educational outcomes are too important, but what could be more?
No. I think she's the only socialist in the room. If I hear about a town full of socialists here, they're going to get run out one way or another.
More important than a child's safety? And what could be worse for them than death, or the mental and physical toll of battling the virus, or the mental toll of losing family to the virus? It's immoral and it's unavoidable. It's utterly avoidable. We need your leadership to close the schools and invest in virtual learning until we have 14 days with no new cases. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right, Rasta?
Listening Foxhall, did you come in? Have you got a list back there, sir, that you're helping me with?
As a teacher of Escambia County, I am not sure how our students will do in the classroom, being crammed into a classroom with the numbers of COVID cases rising every single day. I am not really sure that our students can stay 6 feet apart from each other in the classroom.
Of course they
or
can't. They're kids.
Wherever they go inside the school or on the bus. I love teaching. I really do. But I'm not exactly sure how we are going to help.
Man, I could see this going really, really, really bad quick, y'all. They're going to be jerking our kids around. Put your mask back on. Then they're going to end up spanking them and giving them timeout and detention because they won't wear their mask. Oh, my goodness, dude. I'm just, I'm so over it.
This, if we go back to the schools, if we had cleaning supplies, that would definitely help. That would be
definitely
great if y'all can manage that. Also, on top of going back to the classroom, I do believe that virtual learning will definitely help the students to stay active with their learning and staying distant from other students and teachers and faculty and staff. I would absolutely love nothing more than to be back into the classroom.
It's
and seeing those
420
smiling faces
somewhere,
and
folks.
encouraging them
420
face to face. But I am
somewhere.
very concerned about their well-being, and I would love for a plan to be put into place, or at least virtual learning until the COVID cases decline. Thank you.
Thank you.
No, thank you. Oh, yeah, they clap a lot. They clap.
Mr. Thomas, at the end, do you want to address some of the concerns that
I
you,
will.
okay? Because I know that we've had some discussion about some of the things that are being brought forward. Just, so stay tuned, people. Alex Rigsby, welcome.
Madam Chairwoman, I might be the rare exception of the people you hear tonight who is neither a teacher nor has a child in school.
Oh, man, this guy lays it on thick. Look at his phoenix rising on his shirt, whatever. But he just sick. Some of these people just make me sick to know that they're in my county.
But I do have people that I care about. I have a teacher who is my girlfriend.
Swab D's.
And I have a mother. As
Ooh, I'm pissed.
My mother, in particular, is currently at home battling brain cancer. I and all of my family have been born and raised in Florida our entire lives. Not a claim that a lot of people can make.
Whatever, dude.
And my father has to go out every single day and get stuff.
My
for them
dad
while
was
they're
born
holed up
right
in
here
their
in
house.
Pensacola,
Because
1947.
Despite
He
politics
went
or
to
anything else, he
Warrington
takes
Elementary, the
coronavirus
first
very
one,
seriously.
old one.
As do a lot of people. And as many people have pointed out, Florida is absolutely an epicenter of the United States' current cases of the
Not yet.
coronavirus.
How we get there here?
And
I had
just
to work today. I'll
because
check
my
it out
father
though.
isn't going into a school every single day, and my mother isn't going into a school every single day, doesn't mean that he won't have to interact with teachers. He won't have to interact with children. He won't have to interact with the spouses of these teachers, who will inevitably contract this. I don't have to speak to whether this can be transmitted through children. You had a doctor who told you that. And I haven't done the proper research myself to tell you how much it can be spread through adults, that I feel that I can speak with a nuance to discuss that with you. But I know for a fact it has, because I know people who have lost their parents because of this thing.
Bullshit.
And we've already seen, and that's prior to packing children in rooms smaller than this, teachers in rooms smaller than this, and creating a whole nother wave of this thing just with that single act. And I don't come here today to give you a recommendation as to what should be done on that. I'll let the people in red behind me decide that. But I do know that something needs to be done to protect the teachers. Something needs to be done to protect the students. And we all have people. We need to do something to protect the people that we love.
Yeah, don't give in to fear. Wash your hands in your ass.
Next is Chelsea Alberta.
Yeah. Let me catch
My
it.
name is much easier than it looks like.
Go ahead. Let me catch it. I'm ready to check out anyway, man. Chop my head off for not wearing one.
My name is Chelsea Alberta. I am a teacher in Escambia County School District, and I'm here in support of the new school start date and in support of changes to the verbiage in regards to face masks and face shields. I understand the need to reopen schools. Without federal or state assistance, without a moratorium on rent and mortgages, and for parents with essential jobs in dual income households, childcare isn't a luxury. It's essential. When caught between a rock and a hard place, I understand the school board's choice to open schools. But I support the superintendent's recommendation to delay the start of the school year. As a teacher, I've spent the summer researching and working to learn how to best approach remote learning and safely implement in-person teaching. However, I, like everyone else, did not have any idea how the district would approach schooling before the superintendent's announcement on July 8th. Pushing back the start date acknowledges the significant work that needs to be done to start the school year as safely as possible. I also support changing verbiage in regards to face masks and face shields. This virus travels most effectively by the water droplets that we breathe out. If you have ever seen someone's breath on a cold day, then you know the minimum distance that these droplets can travel. Masks and shields catch these droplets before they come out of the mouth, cutting down the virus's ability to travel and drastically reducing the likelihood of infection for others. The new language that the superintendent is suggesting would allow principals and teachers the autonomy to require face masks as
Right.
needed to keep their students safe. There's no reason we couldn't enforce a mask mandate the way that we police everything else that children wear. We are already willing to disrupt their learning and pull them out of class for things like refusing to take a hoodie off, for having their pants too low, or for wearing spaghetti straps. There's no reason we can't have similar rules when it will save their lives. And if anyone has left you doubting whether it is reasonable for teachers to ask this of you, just ask you to hear me out for less than one more minute. I'm going into my third year of teaching. I started teaching for the same reason that most of my colleagues did. I saw a need. My school needed me, my students need me, you need me, and every other teacher in this district. And after Majority Stoneman Douglas, you asked us to come back in spite of possibly being shot by a student. You asked us to come back in spite of the fact that this school district will not even be able to get our salary up to the minimum that Ron DeSantis said it needs to be. Addressing trauma for students in our curriculum, supplying our own school things. We kept saying yes, we kept coming back. And now you're asking us to endanger the lives and the health of us and our families, and we're not saying no.
Time's up.
We are just asking that you
next
value
Flunatic
us
and
as much as
Covidiot.
you value policing spaghetti straps and short skirts. And that's not too much to ask. So I hope that you will vote for the superintendent's language changes and delayed school start date. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness, man. Stop clapping. That was crap. They clap for crap.
Recommendations, I still believe we need to plan for safety first. We teachers and many parents know that schools are the center of our community, and our
Hey,
reach
Brian.
goes further than just teachers
What's
and
happening?
students. There are about 46,000 teachers and students in this county. With the average American family size being 3, we can estimate about 138,000 people in this county are a student, teacher, or family member. This number does not include administrators, support staff, custodians, cafeteria workers, substitutes, and all of their families. The population of Escambia County last year was a little over 318,000, meaning teachers, students, and their families alone make up about 43% of the entire Escambia population. Should we be planning to put our children, teachers, and staff in closed spaces, crowded places, and in close contact settings right as our numbers are peaking for COVID-19? Are we really ready
Fake
to
numbers.
risk almost half the population? We know children can get it because recently a third of the children who tested in Florida tested positive for the virus. We're worried. I can tell you as a teacher, we're very aware of the conditions in schools with the lack
Stop
of
living in
custodial
fear.
staff, lack of bus drivers, and lack of substitutes. And this was all before schools closed down in March. Teachers are not asking to be treated in a special way. We're not asking to take a longer vacation, and we're certainly not ready to give up a career that we
You're
are
welcome.
so incredibly passionate for. All we're asking is that you consider the safety of the entire county because we know how embedded the schools are in the community at large. Let's open safely, hopefully remotely, not in a way where it risks the health of so many and overwhelms our hardworking medical professionals. Parents have choices, but most staff and employees have none. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I guess all the teachers decided to wear red today. Yeah. So, a red shirt or whatever. Brian, if you're still here, if you missed it, one of the teachers had a PSL shirt on. It said people for what did it say? Socialism and liberation.
They're about
Socialism.
And I have two forms,
Sick.
but it's you want to do public forum, right?
Yes,
Okay,
thank you.
Just
What was the name again?
they're a Bacchus.
Look, she's got a
I hope
spider
I said it
web.
right.
You did good.
She's got a spider web looking mask on, and then I don't know what this thing is down here, but whatever the thing she's wearing looks creepy.
Welcome.
Thank you. Good evening. Thank you all for letting the public and school employees come up and give their perspective. I personally am a product of Escambia County. I did elementary, middle, high school, and I even went to UWF. I'm a teacher here, and I have children in Escambia County schools as well. And I will just say that I'm nervous to come back. I'm nervous for my own children.
Every one of them are living in fear. I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm so scared.
This virus is something we've never seen. I never thought in my lifetime we would ever live through something like this. And the fact that we just don't know yet what this virus does to children's internal organs, to their lungs.
Oh, my
what are the
goodness.
long-term effects of this virus? That makes me very nervous. Also, going back, not being sure how community spread is going to increase once we get everybody together in classroom.
And that lady behind her swaying like a freaking, I don't even know what, but it's driving me crazy. It's like she's trying to hypnotize us or something, but she just keeps swaying back and forth like she's, I don't know. It's driving me nuts.
My husband has a job where he works with the elderly. And of course, I don't have that job, but yet if I come home and I'm COVID positive and I give it to him, there could be so many lives that are affected just by that one instance of community spread. And so I would just urge the school board to look at what the CDC is proposing. There are three things, at least from what I understand. We need to wear masks, it needs to be clean, and we need to social distance. I fully support, and I really beg you to make mask wearing mandatory in
No,
schools. Again,
bitch.
just like many of my colleagues have iterated, we have dress codes for other issues. Why can we not have a dress code for masks? Something that would save a life rather than just be indecent.
Saving shit.
Distancing. We need to make our classrooms as small as they can be. And that might take some creativity. I mean, I'm just going to throw some crazy things out there, but all of the community centers are closed right now. Why can't some of those spaces be used to spread out classrooms and specifically spread out middle and high school?
Spread these.
Because of the recent study done in South Korea showing that children ages 10 and up spread the virus just as easily as adults. Why can't we have juniors and seniors be completely online? Kids that are old enough to drive themselves, responsible, hopefully enough to monitor their own education system. And again, we just have to get creative in getting these classroom numbers low. And then cleaning. Teachers need cleaning supplies, not just for when we go back, but for the entire year. Again, I will stand there and I will wipe down every desk in my classroom.
I'm sure you would.
But I need the supplies to make that happen and to make this school year as safe as it can be for my students, for me, for my family, and for the entire Escambia County community. Thank you.
Oh my goodness.
Thank
dude.
you. Rebecca Van Fleet will be our next speaker, and she has been given time from Sherry Stoker, so she will get 6 minutes.
Fatty Hightower.
Kind of threw out my
High power. Patty High Power. That's
today,
what.
but I wrote some stuff
Be sure
down.
you get up to the mic. Excuse
Sorry.
me. Thank you.
And I'm Rebecca Van Fleet. I'm a teacher.
No
I'm
shit.
a parent, and I'm compromised, and I'm concerned.
She's compromised. Does that mean she's got COVID? Did she test positive? Is that what that means? People, help me out. She'll say it again too. She says she's compromised.
About going back to school. I have a couple of questions. first, and then I have a couple things to say, and I know you're not going to answer the questions, but I thought I'd throw them out there. So you were saying, they were talking earlier about having to require.
Brian, this is a local school board meeting. Yeah, we know you're compromised. This is in my county. This is a local school board meeting. Anybody can go. If I'd have known about it, I could have gone and talked to, it was open to the public, and it was today.
To wear masks, and I want to know personally, as a compromised teacher, if I can require that in my own classroom. Maybe other teachers don't want to require it, but me being compromised, I think I should be able to in my own classroom. I'm concerned about not doing temperature checks. It's been proven that mask and temperature checks work, and I think that's part of what we should be doing with the schools. If we're going back to school, let's help with the spread. If you do temperature checks and we can find out who's asymptomatic, then we can do the contact tracing so that we can stop the spread.
Oh, come
So I don't-
Yeah, let me stop there real quick. News flash, bitch. I'm sorry. I just have to do it because this is just, we're all, I'm sorry. Anyway, they're having trouble finding anyone here to apply to be a contract tracer. So that's one thing I can say about my county is that they don't want to be a snitch. And so nobody is they can't, they're having trouble hiring people to be contract tracers. Yeah, that's good.
I don't understand why that's not being mandated in our schools. As far as social distancing goes, we're short on substitutes. We know that a lot of people are going to be getting sick. So when they start trying to divvy up those students that don't have teachers because they're out sick and put them in my room, what's going to happen to social distancing? That's going out the window. Can I, as a teacher, say, hey, you can't come into my room because this is not following the CDC guidelines? I mean, this is going to happen. There are going to be a lot of teachers out. So, but I'm really here because I am concerned about my students. And I should have talked to Sarah about this because we have the same kind of thing, same kind of concerns going on. As far as this virus goes, we have chickenpox, the virus. We have herpes as a virus. We have AIDS as a virus. And these are viruses that have been going, that we know about.
AIDS is fake, was fake
happening
too.
For years. That medical professionals have been studying. All three of those viruses are viruses that are lifelong, that they don't have things, there's no cure for them.
Your delusion is lifelong, I guess,
For
lady.
your life. And we don't know about this virus.
Yeah, she is. It's
They
sad,
don't have enough data.
Janine.
It is a new virus. So when you're trying to put these kids back in school and you don't have this data, they already said that there's a disease out there that's, it's on here, that students are getting, young children are getting. It's called, hold on.
Oh, these people will believe anything and everything now. It's sick, man.
I think it's PMIS or something, that it's affecting children's lungs.
Oh, my
and
goodness.
Their blood flow. We don't know that this is going to be affecting them lifelong. And it says 1.7% of these kids are getting this disease. Well, I looked at the data. There's 41, the data that I was looking at, 41,000 kids in Escambia County District. 1.7% of that, that's 700 kids, about roughly 700 kids that might end up with this. That could be lifelong, that we're putting this through. In my own school, there's about roughly 1,100 kids. That means about 20 kids will end up with this.
Sorry.
And we're putting
I'm
them
sorry.
in
I'm not laughing at that.
and I don't think that's right to use our kids as guinea pigs.
Oh, dear.
We don't have enough information, and we can
You're
push
a
this back
guinea pig.
as much
The
as
New
we
World
can
Order
so that
right now.
medical professionals could study this more and find out what's going on. And we can push that back. I don't understand why we aren't doing that. I don't understand why we're not doing that. Teachers, and wait, I said 20 kids. That's not even including the fact that minorities
Oh,
get this
listen.
disease more often than regular kids. At my school, 54% of the kids are minorities. So they have a 5 times more likely chance of getting this disease. So when I say 700 kids in this district might get it, it's going to be more than that because we have more minorities in this district. We're going to see more kids dying. I don't want to see my students die. Teachers, 1 in 5 adults get this. If there are 5,000 teachers in this county, that's 1,000 people that are going to end up with this COVID.
I'm sorry.
And I don't want to see one of my
I'm sorry.
coworkers, because I love my coworkers. Best school I've ever worked at.
You know what? I have a compromised immune system because I have multiple sclerosis. I got the flu in February, and I didn't even go to a doctor, didn't go and buy anything from a pharmacy or anything, and I got over it in a few days, and I was fine. You know, no more problems. These people are full of crap.
And I don't want to see them die. And we've already seen some of our coworkers who have a brother, a sister on a ventilator. Family members have died already. I don't want to see this. I'm concerned. And as far as making this choices, you know, you said we could do some online.
Somebody give her a mask to wipe her tears.
My understanding is that I will have to teach
Hey, Paige. Hey,
some
Suso.
classes face to face.
Yes, Suso. People
some
actually.
online,
Some people.
but I'll
Some
have
people
to teach
die.
some
Oh my
classes
goodness.
face to face, and I'm concerned.
Go ahead and finish your thought.
Some people
thank
are
you.
gonna die. Some old people, yeah, but not from Corona. But they got to clean the podium again, of course, every time. Now this lady is president of some crap. Crap.
Ms. Warren?
Good evening. My name is Dorzell Warren, and I am the president of the Escambia Education Association. And like many of the young ladies here, and I had to revamp what I was going to say as well. I would like to say thank you to Superintendent Thomas, because I know the decisions that you're having to make, and I know they are not easy decisions to make. The argument that teachers were not wanting to go to school is not true. Teachers are ready to go to school. They have been working in their classrooms, trying to get ready and prepared for the little ones who are going to be entering into them. The argument was, how are we going to do it? How are we going to make returning to our classrooms as safe as possible? That is why I was advocating for a face covering. And I think we're getting into the argument of mask, face covering, but face coverings will include a shield. I taught second grade. I know the importance of my children being able to see me, to be able to see my smile. No one is saying that that student wouldn't be able to step to the side and be able to take a breath. I mean, I even have to pull it off of my nose. My glasses get fogged up. We should not be looking at this as a political thing about someone's rights being taken away. As far as rights being taken away, what I say to that is, should you take those rights and say that someone else should not feel safe? No one should be in their classroom in fear that their coworkers or their administrator are going to make fun of them, tell them that they're not strong enough to be able to sit in a room without protecting themselves. That safe environment is going to allow our teachers to be able to go home knowing that they're not taking anything back with them, that they're doing the best that they can do by keeping their rooms closed, clean. Now that we have a recommendation for a delay, this is going to allow our teachers the opportunity to try to get as much professional development under their belt so that they will be able to provide the high quality instruction that our children deserve. So I would like to say once again, thank you for allowing this delay to happen. I know it was not an easy choice for you to make, but you did it in the best interest of our students, of our employees, and I'm asking the board to please think about those teachers who are afraid of not being able to have some bit of protection.
Thank you. Our next speaker will be Hugh King Sr. Are you speaking to public forum or to an agenda item? Okay. Okay.
Madam Chairman and my representative, Ms. Edler. Superintendent, I want to thank you and commend you on your decision for the delay and hope that the board does approve that. You know, these are some very perilous times that we're living in. And I think it's the preamble to the Constitution that says that document exists for three basic reasons: to ensure all of our rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And I think they're in that order for very clear and specific reasons. You know, COVID-19 is a matter of life and death. And, you know, I'd like to digress just a moment and hope and encourage everybody of faith to pray for our governor, who may have succumbed to bullying, bully rhetoric out of Washington, D.C., that maybe he would rescind his decision. And when we start talking about mandatory, you know, let's look at both sides of the fence. But the point I want to make is this. We have an obligation. First of all, I'm proud of my roots in Escambia County. I have a son who just received his PhD from Clark Atlanta University in Humanities. I have another son who, because through the good work of the ESE department, Washington High School, is in Bible college. I have a daughter who we hope one day might make a name for herself in the LPGA. Then I have a 2-year-old son whose mother is an Escambia County public school teacher, 25 years. And she's in a category because of pre-existing conditions that puts her at high risk. And she is a caretaker for her mother, who is a 33-year veteran, retired of the Escambia County School District. Anybody associated with Tate High School a little bit before the turn of the century would remember Mrs. McNeely. She's bedridden and in bad health. The decisions on masks impacts more than the students. It impacts the entire community. It would only be responsible if this district would mandate when and if the schools open, mask would be a requirement. You can find documentation, you can make comparisons around the country and around the world and come up with things to say why not. But let's find the why and the how to do the best thing.
All right, I'm back. My sister stopped by for a minute.
Thanks so much, and God bless you.
Thank you.
I'm not clapping. That was crap.
I have Ms. Johnson and then Chester Randall and Larry Downs Jr.
Larry Downs Jr. Now that one is worth waiting for, folks, because he is not having it.
Johnson. You'll have to help me with your first name. Oh, it's Zena? Okay, I guess I was reading them all together.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for allowing me to speak. Just want to say thank you to Mr. Thomas for primarily delaying school, and hopefully the board will vote for that. But I just want to say that I recently, well, not recently, but I previously worked at International Paper, and it was a really dangerous job. And we had OSHA to primarily make sure that all the guidelines was in place to make sure that if I had any issue or something I had a problem with, that they made sure that those issues were resolved, that I couldn't be hurt. I wouldn't be hurt on my job. But with this COVID being so new, I want to make sure I tell you that I'm a teacher at Bellevue Middle School, and I love my job. I love my job. But for me to be going back to the classroom and have this anxiety, I shouldn't have to have an anxiety like that. I don't have OSHA. I don't have any other type of guidelines to go up under to say that I should be protected. I feel that I've worked for the district for, I think it's 16 years now, and I love my job. I shouldn't have to have so much anxiety about going back to the classroom. And even not just for me, I'm an advocate for the students. My students, most of my students live with grandparents, aunties, or great grandparents. Even if they did receive the virus, will they have the proper care, the proper medical treatment that they need to make sure that they're cared for? I want them to be safe. I don't want one number to go
20
up.
after yet?
144
Man.
deaths. Do we have to add another one? Does it have to be at our school or in Escambia County?
I need a
don't know all
bucket
the
bong
answers,
hit.
But I do have the
Put up with
questions.
these people
Do we even have the
for the second
disinfectant spray
time.
at our schools, the UV lights? Do we have any of that in place? I'm not going to put it all on the custodians. That's a lot of work for them. They're already overworked, understaffed, and I'm not putting the fault on them. But with this situation being here, are we looking at other new avenues to make sure that the teachers, the staff, and the students are safe? Because there are other things that out there, other devices that we can make sure when we do go in, yes, when they touch that surface, it's already clean. Yes, it's been sprayed down last night. I want to make sure that I'm safe, my students are safe, and my staff. My mother is very sick. And for me to go home back to her and take her something because of me, because I can't get to her, because I can't visit her, that's unfair. I had OSHA to cover me, but what's covering me now? I'm asking the board to cover each
A diaper's
teacher,
covering your
each
face.
student, each staff member that's on the campuses. I love my job. I want to go back to my job. But when I go back, I don't want to have to be so scary about going back to my job.
Every one of them scared. I'm scared. I'm scared.
I mean,
I
I
love
don't know what
living in
else to say, but
fear.
I shouldn't be so fearful and have so much anxiety because I didn't know what I was going to do. I was just so happy that you gave an opportunity to give
Stop
another 2
believing the
weeks
hype.
for me to just calm down, calm my nerves, because I want my kids,
Time's up.
my students, when I say kids, my students to
Next,
be safe, and I want
Covidiot.
to be safe. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Not clapping.
I have two remaining speakers. I have Chester Randall and Larry Downs Jr. So if there's anyone else that now feels
I will clap for Larry when
so
he comes
moved to speak, please fill out a form because after
up.
Mr.
I got a form for you to fill out.
Downs, that will be our last speaker. Have you got?
The hell?
Mr. Randall?
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon. I am a bus driver.
Oh my goodness, the bus driver. Oh boy, they had to lay it on thick. Check it out. The bus driver. This guy is a local bus driver here for hauling kids. And he's all right. Anyway, the guy behind him, Suso, is the dude. Is that's gonna, make a little sense here, and tell these people what time it is. Anyway, at first I thought he was for it with this sticker, you'll see, but wait, just wait. The next guy, yeah, he's great, and I've even met him before. He's a plumber. Like I said, the next guy, he's a local business owner, and he does a lot of business in this town. He has a lot of plumbers that work for him, and he has a boxing school for kids. Yeah, they go there and learn how to box, and then they compete in boxing too. The guy behind this guy, Larry Downs Jr. Anyway, but this guy's a bus driver right here. Wait till what he says about the kids on the bus. He just wants authority and power over these kids. It's unreal.
Thank
I'm
you.
speaking in behalf of the bus drivers. I'm speaking in behalf of myself. Over the time I've been driving, there have been difficult times just dealing with referrals or writing up these kids. Now we have coronavirus. And what I need from this board, mandatory, that these kids, when they get on that bus, that they have a mask on. I don't have a device in my hand to take temperatures.
But you
I
would,
don't have
Scant. You
time to
would.
do that. My job is to get these kids to school safely. I am driving now. I'm in the midst of the program right now. I'm driving for summer. I'm driving these kids to summer school. And you know where they wear their masks? They wear their masks up under their chin. I
Good
don't
for
have
them.
authority right now
Shouldn't
to
wear one
say,
at all.
put that mask on, because I will run into other situations with you all as the board that I don't have that authority to say that to them.
But you want
as
to.
far as my health go, when they get on that bus, it should be mandatory that they have a mask on.
Screw you.
The transportation department has provided us with a technique of doing after they get before they get on and when they get off. But
Worst bus
that's not
driver
100%,
ever right
but
here.
It's better than nothing. So
Hock a
I'm saying to
loogie
this
on him.
board and whoever has authority to do anything,
Authority,
you need to
authority,
make this
authority. I want
mandatory.
power, power, power.
And look into some other things of being safe for these kids on the bus. Now, I see
Wheels
them
on the
take
bus go
temperature
round
after
and
school,
round, round and round.
but they don't take them when I see them. Take them after I see them. So what I'm saying, protect me, protect them, and make it where we all can get to school safely. And when they come back to me, get them home safely. But I need that authority on that bus to say,
I need
put a mask on.
authority.
I need that.
I need
If I don't
it.
get that,
I'm gonna
I
quit.
got them breathing on. I got one little kid right now does not wear a mask, and when he speaks to me, I guess he said, "Well, this is an old guy. He can't hear, so he got to get in my face to tell me what he wanted to tell me."
Who wants to get in
And
your
I
face?
say,
Come
"You can't
on,
do
man.
that.
Ain't no
You
kid
have
getting
to
in your
give me some
face.
distance." But you don't understand. But if he has the mandatory having that mask on, even if he don't understand, even if he do, I can still deal with him and talk with him as a person on that bus. So, like I said, everyone that have came to you, they're not in the midst. I'm out there now, and I know what I'm seeing, know what's going on.
Next,
Thank
next,
you, Mr. Randall.
please. Next. Oh, here we go. Here we go. This guy has some sense. She don't. She ain't got no sense.
Mr. Downs, welcome.
Patty Highpower.
Hightower, how you doing?
I'm doing fine.
All right, Larry Downs Jr., 12156 Havburg Drive. These patches here say 6 feet away, so stay 6 feet away. Here's the problem solved. Just make everybody stay 6 feet away. Of course, that's being sarcastic because, you know, we're going to be approaching about the time y'all take into school or take the kids back to school, some of them, you're going to be approaching cold and flu season. You know, you got the fall coming up, may have a second or third wave of COVID. How long is this going to go on? You know, I mean, you're going to put cubicles around the teachers, have no interaction with the kids. The school bus drivers put some cubicles on the bus for them. Meanwhile, all these kids are going to be touching their masks. They're going to be pulling it down. If you mandate it, they're not going to wear them properly, just like at least 5 people in this room I've seen not wearing them properly. Then they touch their mask over and over. Dr. Fauci said this in the beginning. He said that a mask oftentimes does more harm than good. And that is the truth because we all touch our face all the time. There's no way to stop it. I have thousands of pictures here around this whole town of people with their mask down, touching it, putting their hands in it, nose, eyes, everything they're touching. I just don't, I mean, how long? The experts know nothing about this. They know nothing. About every month or so, I get something new out. No mask needed. And then all of a sudden, we need a mask. Everybody needs a mask. They know nothing. And I'm just up here. All three of my kids went through the Escambia County School District. My wife's a school teacher here of 18 years. These teachers here don't represent all the teachers. You know, there's a lot of teachers who don't want to wear a mask. I can tell you. I know a ton of them. I do a lot of plumbing work for them. And just to give y'all an idea, it's amazing.
He plumbs teachers.
Want to mandate a mask. Ask us to wear a mask into their house while we're doing plumbing. Yet they don't have, they're not wearing a mask around us the whole time we're working there. Like, you wear a mask. Well, we'll do it. We'll do it. Whatever customer wants, we'll do. But isn't it amazing how they don't care about us? Now, I'm not concerned with it at all, because to me, this is another flu. And we're going to bankrupt this country. We're going to bankrupt the school system. We're going to bankrupt this county. We're going to bankrupt this state. Y'all watch. Good day.
Thank you, Mr. Downs.
I will clap for
We
that.
have one more speaker, Anthony Pietranero. I'm glad you helped me with that.
Here, Anthony.
I haven't heard this guy. I don't know what this guy's going to say. I haven't heard him.
Good evening, Madam Chairwoman and Board. Thank you for the opportunity to address you all. I just wanted to say that I've been sitting down and listening to everyone speak. I'm a pediatric physician.
Oh, no. We got another pediatric doctor. That's two pediatric doctors they've had here today speaking. They're laying it on thick with these stupid doctors.
Hospital about 30 years ago and have recently returned to the area to continue my career. And I have to say that since COVID began, the parents that have been coming into my exam room have just been so thankful for the teachers. And hearing the teachers speak, I have to tell all you teachers, you guys are our heroes. You put
Not
your
my hero.
lives on the line, taking care of our children, teaching them, educating them. If it weren't for teachers, I wouldn't be standing here in front of you all right now. So I want to thank you for that, because many of you put yourselves in jeopardy, whether it's through school violence or whether it's through exposure to COVID now. Now, as a physician, I kind of knew what I was signing up for. But many of the teachers, there's no way they could have ever imagined that they would be facing such a pandemic. And they are a very precious resource. And we need to take care of that precious resource. We need to make sure that they're safe when they go into the classrooms and they teach our children. That Korean study that my colleague Dr. Straub talked about is a very well done study. And it debunks the myth or the previous thought that kids don't spread COVID that much. Kids 10 years and up spread it as well as adults do. And if we don't have the proper precautions in place, children are going to get sick, the teachers will get sick. And not only the teachers, but the wonderful people who volunteer in the schools and the maintenance staff and the ancillary staff, the clerical staff, and our school bus drivers.
Scamdemic.
Protect those people as well. We have to be mindful of that. Someone else mentioned that COVID is just like a cold.
Yeah.
Well,
it is.
What we're finding out is that many people are continuing with their symptoms for weeks to months after they get better. Some of them are having cognitive defects. Some of them are having brain damage. Some of them will probably never be the same. And in pediatrics, one of the teachers spoke about a syndrome. It's called multisystem inflammatory syndrome in children. And it can happen in kids 2 to 3 weeks after they've been exposed to COVID. As of today, there are about 342 cases in the United States with 6 deaths. and that is rising. So fortunately, it is not extremely common, but the more children that get COVID, the more children that are going to get this illness. And this attacks multiple organ systems, and these kids end up in the intensive care unit.
After this, you're welcome to
So I'd
join
like
me.
to close by thanking the superintendent for his decision.
After this, anybody's welcome to join me to add their thoughts on this. I have some other stuff to share after this too. Oh yeah, we're not going anywhere, folks. I'm ready to really let these people have it, and we're gonna pray for them too, because I'm serious, man. These people, they're under deep delusion.
Decision to delay the opening of the school year. And I just implore you that please let real science and not
Your
junk
time's up,
science
Doc.
or politics or conspiracy
Next
theories
quack, doctor.
guide your future decisions. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you.
Boo! Look at this doofus.
I have no more speaker forms. Okay, I'm looking to the back to make sure there's not any that are coming forward. I just want to say one thing. I want to thank you for your interest in coming and sharing with us. And you were all very passionate and very respectful.
Hi,
and I
disciple. Good
appreciate
to see you.
that. But I know that there's some things that maybe have
Ben
not
Flack,
been
good to see ya.
communicated as
Everybody.
well as maybe we
Cindy.
had hoped. And Mr. Thomas, would you like to address some of those issues that were brought up that I know we have talked about, but maybe have not been?
Yeah, I'm not going to try to go back over
No, not all of it.
everything, but there were a couple of recurring themes, and I've heard these before tonight. You know, the one that
Hey, Lady Lacey.
teachers are going to be asked to provide their own supplies in a classroom. That has been true in the past. That will not be true this year. We have been accumulating supplies over the last couple of months. As a matter of fact, on tonight's agenda, $75,000 worth of wipes.
Waste of money.
That's not for the county office. It's for classroom, as well as hand sanitizer.
Waste of money.
So we're moving with that. That also includes, we've purchased disposable masks for adults and students. We have cloth masks for our staff. Much of that's already in the schools. Touchless thermometers. For
Some of those
staff
people
to use,
sitting down are lawyers.
for themselves. The clinic, we've hired additional nurses. But the supply issue is the big one that I want to make sure you're aware that we are addressing. Not just the mask like many of us are wearing in this room, face shields, which we've heard many teachers would prefer, particularly at the elementary level. You're right. It's going to be hard to teach reading and phonetics if the child can't see your face in those early grades. So the face shield would work. Barriers that a teacher can put on a kidney-shaped table when they're in a small group, when they need to be able to look at each other but yet be protected. All of those are happening. Masks for the bus, hand sanitizing stations for the bus. And Mr. Dennis, I don't know, you're in charge of operations. Am I missing anything you want to add to?
Look at him. Look at him drinking Diet Dr. Pepper with aspartame in it, folks. Aspartame's gotten to this guy's brain. At least he's not wearing a mask, but you know, this is crap.
Purchased what we are purchasing for classroom supplies to sanitize.
Thank you, sir, and thank you for the opportunity to clarify and add some more assurance to the issue. You hit most of the high points. I do want to call everyone's attention to the simple fact, the large-scale cleaning, this is what we do at the end of each.
Look at Mr. Clean here. Holy crap. This is the Mr. Clean model or something here, isn't it? Look at this guy. He looks just like Mr. Clean. Wow.
As we did in this room before the meeting and will do immediately following, is done by our custodial services department.
Mr. Clean,
The
Mr.
large-scale
Clean.
Sanitation you saw occur during our
You look so
graduation
mean.
was developed and carried out by our custodial department working with our partners in the industry. So you have an exceptional custodial department. As you recall in the workshop, you saw the additional supplemental equipment that we have purchased and designed and built as force multipliers so that we can have one custodian do a whole lot more than we've
Yes,
ever done
Jennifer,
before.
too much hand sanitizer is bad. They're going to have these kids drowning in hand sanitizer. It's sick.
Sanitizing in large spaces. You did hit, sir, on the classroom, but I want to reiterate, every classroom will have disinfectant spray with wipes, pH 7Q dual to be precise, antimicrobial
Wipe these. Sorry,
masks
I'm
that are
sorry.
size appropriate,
I'm
face
sick of
shields
this
where
crap.
appropriate, either clinical style or heavy duty, hand sanitizer, either a wall mounted or a pump bottle in any room that does not have a sink. We recognize sinks and hand washing are far superior, and we're going to encourage that. Gloves, size appropriate where necessary. We are constantly scanning the market and getting the latest, and we have a warehouse full of materials. So rest assured, there will be supplies in the classrooms. Social distancing markers and signage. Mr. Thomas mentioned touchless thermometers. Not only do we have touchless thermometers, every school has an allocation in place, and we are actually creating employee self-temperature check kiosks with those thermometers and signage and appropriate instructions. Standoff shields, and we are actually doing physical modifications to some of our schools that have constrained lobby areas in order to manage groups of people, just as you saw us manage today with our speakers.
You know, I'm pretty sure that most people know when they have a fever. You know, every time I've had a fever, I know I got a fever. Okay. I'm not going to work if I got a fever, but they got a kiosk. They're going to have a kiosk, you know, that checks them. This is ridiculous.
And with our microphone. So again, thank you for the opportunity to clarify. Hopefully this provides some measure of assurance. We have a fantastic custodial team, and they will be ready when we open schools.
So some of those items the district's providing directly to schools, each school has already received an allocation specifically for COVID-19. So additional materials that a teacher might need, the school has a budget that they can utilize to help you in your classroom, provide the supplies you need. We've told all the principals, if they exhaust that, they come back, we will replenish. We're not just doing this at the beginning. We're going to have to sustain this for the long haul throughout the school year as the supplies diminish in the warehouse. We'll continue to look to resupply because the masks, the sanitation liquid, all of that, it's not going to last you all year. You're going to need more. So we're preparing for that.
No
We're
more.
ordering as fast as
No
we can
more
by the time
mask.
we get
No
to the
more
first day of
mask.
school.
No
I
more
feel
mask.
comfortable that we'll be able to address those needs. I
Teacher,
really like what we're doing
leave
with
those
the,
kids
I call it a fog
alone.
machine. I know it has a more
No mask.
complicated name, but it
Just
is able to
another
spray the
mask
room.
in the
chemicals
trash.
that we are using are proven effective against the COVID virus. So when you wipe down, those work, but when we spray,
You know what's coming next? They're going to say, the whole world is polluted with masks. The oceans are full of masks. Oh, the masks. Too many masks.
that takes care of any residue that would be in a room.
Probably
So
not.
We're doing our best. There will be other issues I'm sure we'll learn as we go. I keep reminding people the district was shut down until June the 1st. We really were, just like you were shut down.
Did
The
you have a
month of
nice
June,
vacation,
things were
prick?
not quite what they are now. I think everybody recognizes that. But in the last 2 to 3 weeks, things have really intensified in our community. And so we've tried to step up and do everything possible to prepare. And then the last thing I'll say before I kick it back to the chairs, I appreciate everyone giving me thanks, but I just want
I'm
to
not thanking you.
make sure you recognize that my team and this school board, we don't work in isolation. So when I'm recommending something, I've already had conversations with school board members. They know what we're trying to do, why we're trying to do it. And so I just want to make sure that credit goes where credit is due. A lot of times I am the point of the spear, and that happens whether you're for it or against it. I'm going to get it on both sides. I understand that. But it's a team that works together collaboratively to make this work. And I do appreciate the conversations the board and I had yesterday. We had a long day, and we worked through many issues that they're thanking people for today, but that was a collective agreement. So the language we're bringing forward in the reopening plan, a lot of that we discussed yesterday. We've made some adjustments that we thought were appropriate. We've
Because
announced
he
those
knows
today.
the
board's gonna
truth,
move
Ben,
for
but he don't
until
care.
August 24th. But August 24th,
He's going
we
along with
have
the
to go
agenda
forward.
anyway.
Any delay beyond that starts to affect the pay of teachers. what we
Trump
have done
didn't
with
wear a
this
mask for a
plan
long
has
time. He
no
just
impact
started
on
wearing a
teacher pay.
mask.
Teachers typically get paid the end of August. They're going to get paid the end of August in this plan because they return on the 17th. And we'll deal with some of that later when we do reopening.
Thank you, sir. And thank you for being here. At this point, we will move forward the administrative appointments under the superintendent's agenda.
Yes, ma'am. I'd like to recommend that the board approve my administrative appointment
Here we
as
go.
indicated on your agenda with the details in your board backup.
Oh, they're not going to say it?
Have motion.
I move that we accept the administrative appointment as brought forth by the superintendent.
Thank you, Mr. Slayton. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Adams. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, please vote. What?
Yes.
Mr. Paul? Yeah, Mr.
Approved
Paul.
5-0. I'd like to ask that Michelle Henry Slater come forward. She's moving from curriculum coordinator at Oakcrest to become the assistant principal, Blue Angel Elementary.
Oh, fist bumps. Get out of here. Air fist bumps. What the heck? All right, cool, Brian. Brian and Steffi will be live.
Deputy Superintendent Ross,
9
board
Eastern.
members, thank you for this opportunity. I would like to start by thanking
I
my
mean,
Heavenly Father,
midnight
who has
Eastern,
guided
9
my
Pacific.
journey.
Sorry.
To my husband of 32 years, Wendell, my children, Micheline and Wendell, my mother, Micheline, and my father, Fritz. Thank you for your tutelage and your unwavering
Yeah, I got
love.
that.
To the leaders that
Midnight
have molded me,
Eastern, 9
Principal
Pacific.
McElfresh, Denny Wilson, Kelly Crosstag, Linda Bonifay, Susan Dorman, and Toshiba Shepherd. Thank you for being great examples of strong, caring leadership.
Bullshit.
Finally, to Principal Jane Murphy, and she was here. She had to go home. Finally, to Principal Jane Murphy,
Hey, she's
I
not
couldn't
wearing a
have
mask.
asked for a better leader to start my journey. I promise the staff, students, and community of Blue Angels I will work hard each day to be the leader they deserve. Thank you.
Congratulations. The next order of business is the minutes. We have 2 sets, the June 15th regular workshop and the June 16th regular meeting.
All right. Well, we saw
Madam
it,
Chair,
folks.
I'll move the minutes
So
to be
what they voted for when we saw that vote 5-0 was that they were delaying the opening of schools until they get all their mask guidelines figured out. So if school won't start whenever people thought it was here or whatever, I don't know. It's going to be delayed longer. All right. So that was that, folks. That's my local, like I said, local Escambia County School Board there meeting about reopening schools. And you saw there just how many people were for, how many teachers were for, and people, bus drivers, were for the mask, mandatory mask. See, they just want to muzzle the kids too. They want to muzzle us and they want to muzzle the kids. And, you know, just Simon says it's all a game of compliance, you know. Yeah. All right. Anyway, so let me show you what happens when I put in a doctor says healthy kids shouldn't wear a mask. Now all I get is, you know, the opposite. Why it's okay for them to wear a mask, of course. You know, plenty of that. All right, and then I pulled up this here. This is Raleigh, North Carolina News, the News and Observer. I was born less than an hour from Raleigh, North Carolina. All right, so I didn't put anything in here. This is just the front page of their today's paper. Total tested 1.4 million, 102 confirmed, and 1,668 deaths. in North Carolina so far. Okay, national. 47 million people have been tested in the U.S. 3 million confirmed with COVID-19, they say, and 141,883 deaths. Mm-hmm. Now, I know plenty of people have broke down the numbers, and you can definitely see where it's just like everything's going to COVID instead of, being labeled what it was. So that's your numbers fudged right there, of course. Latest coronavirus live updates here. What to know in North Carolina on July 21st. Lightning strike sends 6 guests at a North Carolina alpine coaster to the hospital. Wow. Were they telling lies? They were probably telling lies about COVID, and they got struck by lightning. Yeah, I'm sure they were wearing a mask too. All right. Soldier jailed after suicide. Call says he accidentally shot at cops. New York lawsuit says. What? Soldier jailed after suicide call says he accidentally shot at cops. Okay, anyway. All right, but over here, let's see what we have. Wake students will start school with virtual learning. Okay, so they're not even trying to put them back in the classrooms there. They want just virtual learning. COVID-19 hospitalizations in North Carolina rise to a new record. It's always these new records, new COVID records. North Carolina governor says refusing to wear a mask infringes on life and liberty of others. This is today. Oh boy! So Brian, when you get home, the governor's gonna come by and have a talk with you because you're infringing on others' life and liberty, by not wearing a mask. Yep, the governor's coming to your place, having a talk with you and Karen and Ted. Yuck, 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 yuck. Oh dear. Okay. Any more COVID stories? Oh, I'm sure. Yep. Lowe's won't enforce its new COVID-19 customer mask mandate, citing worker safety. Wow. Now, that was updated 9 minutes ago. We need to look at that. Oh, it won't let me. Bastards. I don't want to register. That sucks. So that is not cool. I wanted to look at that article. Lowe's won't enforce its new COVID-19 customer mask mandate, citing worker safety. That is interesting. Ooh, I want to know. Let me see if we can. We'll find it somewhere else. All right. Damn. Coronavirus outbreak mitigated UNC football resuming workouts. It's just COVID shoved down your throat everywhere. NC hit a grim COVID-19 milestone. Here's what needs to happen next. Oh, yeah. They don't want just anybody to be able to click on here and read these articles neither, I guess. It sucks, but yeah. So, more down here. Here are the NC school districts opening with online classes only due to COVID-19. And then they show your kid right there at a desk at home. Yep. North Carolina COVID-19 cases surpasses 100,000. Experts say it's just the beginning. Imagine that. Oh dear. Coronavirus. Huh. Yeah, the feds. Look at this here, this picture. The secret empire strikes back. Huh. Let's that they're going to be coming after us because we're not wearing a mask with that. COVID-19 halts many North Carolina Muslims' plans to make a once-in-a-lifetime Islamic pilgrimage, whatever. Can't say that right now. Interesting. What the hell is these Illuminati shirts there? Oh, that's Pink Floyd, Brick in the Wall. So there you go. There's an instant you know that they're listening to me because they offered a Brick in the Wall shirt. Pink Floyd, Brick in the Wall, because I sung that earlier. Wow. Yeah, we know you're listening. What do you call them? Fusion Centers. Yep. Okay. All right. Here I put in COVID new record, and it's just unreal how many thousands of articles there are saying new record. New records for California coronavirus 10 hours ago. 8 hours ago, North Carolina hospitalizations hit another record. Raleigh. Florida, U.S. coronavirus. Florida shatters record for new COVID-19. That was today. That's it. 5 hours ago, Missouri sets a new record for daily increase in COVID-19 cases. Woo! All these records! Yay! Everybody's setting new records. Somebody needs to call the Guinness Book of World Records. Oh my goodness. And U.S. surpasses global record for new COVID cases. Coronavirus U.S. nears 60,000 new cases a day. U.S. hits another record for new corona cases. On and on and on and on and on. All right. Over here, I put in on YouTube, kids should not wear face masks. Of course, I got the opposite. All these videos on how to get your kid to wear a mask, how to trick them into wearing a mask, and how to talk to them about wearing a mask, and all this good stuff. Yes. Making masks fun. There's nothing fun about a mask. Tips for helping your child wear a face mask. What age can children wear a face mask safely? Can babies wear masks? If this dude says babies can wear a mask, I'm going to find him and punch him in the freaking chin. Ooh, should we look at it? He better not. He better not say he could put him on a baby. Of course, any kid is a baby, man. Oh, I can't stand this crap. Come on with the ad. There's the Chump's wall. Stupidest looking wall.
You just mentioned face masks or some kind of covering going to be part of our lives for months to come. If you haven't been wearing a mask regularly before, Dr. Frank McGeorge says there are some important things to know.
First and foremost, the CDC says children under 2 should not wear a mask or other face covering. There is a risk of choking, strangulation, or suffocation. Remember, babies and young toddlers have smaller airways, and breathing through a mask is more difficult for them. Now, the CDC also says you should not put a mask on anyone who may not be able to remove it themselves. With that said, most adults and children over 2 can wear a face covering safely. Regardless of what kind of mask you are wearing, it is very important to wash your hands or use a hand sanitizer before you put it on and after you take it off. You want to avoid touching your face with unclean hands or gloves. You also want to avoid adjusting or fiddling with your mask while you're wearing it. So it's really important.
People do that 1,000 times a day. That's so stupid, man.
And make sure that it fits close to your face. Now, it should cover both your nose and your mouth, and you do not need to wear a mask if you're driving around.
Next, they're going to say you need to pull it up over your eyes, too. Good luck.
In your car, but you should put it on before you get out if you're going into a store or any place else where it might be difficult to maintain proper distance. Back to you.
All right, Frank, and he will continue his guidance later on with a look at some of the best fabrics that you can use for homemade masks. We've got that coming up at 5 o'clock.
Ah! It's a joke, man. How to get your kid to wear a mask during the coronavirus pandemic. Let's just see this too. Child abuse. I'm neglecting the chat too. I'm sorry, guys, and I think we've lost a few people. There's a lot of shows on.
Everyone we spoke to
get
today
that.
generally agrees that age has a lot to do with compliance. And in general, the younger the crowd, the harder the sell.
I'm like, I have to wear them on a bike ride, like around the neighborhood.
This is so ridiculous, man. Look how horrible that is. Oh,
That'll be annoying.
It's kind of hard to talk in a little bit. Molly and Reese Fredericks aren't thrilled about it, but they're old enough to get the safety value of a mask. So is 9-year-old Charlie Lopez and his 6-year-old brother Johnny. It's a whole different ballgame when you ask 3-year-old Elizabeth. And we certainly didn't have deep enough pockets to convince 5-year-old Ryan. Well, how much money would I have to give you to wear a mask, Ryan?
$1,000.
$1,000.
wow. The kid don't want to wear one. Imagine that.
The experts say expect some resistance and stay calm. Easing kids into this is okay. Just try to focus on the positive.
It's not a punishment. It's not that we want them to be afraid of going outside. It's that we want them to be safe.
Richard Malley is an infectious disease specialist. He says the best thing you can do
Yeah,
is be honest with
It
kids.
is sick, Brian. I mean, I'm seriously having trouble watching this because it is child abuse. Oh, yeah, get out there and ride your bike and your scooter really fast, man. Have a good time. But damn sure better keep that mask on.
Scare them. Rather, empower them to help keep all of us safe. And for younger children, well, if they're playing outside with siblings and far away from others, it's okay to skip the mask.
Because the child is more likely to maybe touch it and move things around, it might actually be in their best interest not to wear one if there's nobody around.
Other advice we got today, let your younger children help choose or maybe decorate their mask. Practice putting it
Oh,
on
they
a
can decorate them. How sweet.
favorite doll or a stuffed animal. As for teens, remind them that this is serious enough that they've canceled school. And it's not you making the rules, it's the governor. We're live in Natick. I'm Mary Saladin, WCVB News Center 5.
Sick, man. It's so sick, dude. Oh, how to talk your kids to your. Okay, I thought it said how to talk them into it, but yeah, how to talk to your kids about wearing a mask. Face mask for a child. Children from 6 years old to wear face masks when school reopens. That's in Kenya. So Kenya is talking about 6 years old. That's basically first grade or whatever. First graders and up. Wearing masks with sensory overload. We almost had a meltdown in the parking lot, but wearing masks with autism sensory overload can be really hard. That's sad. This poor little kid with autism has to wear a mask. And, I'm just sick. Oh, I'm sick of this crap, man. This is just so horrific. How to keep face mask on kids during coronavirus. How to help your children feel more comfortable wearing a mask. They shouldn't feel comfortable. Why are all these grown-ass adults feel comfortable in a mask? You freaking Flunatics!
The radical left-wing mob's agenda.
Look at this crap, man. So many wussies.
Right, Sean, wearing masks in public is the new normal for all of us. Takes some getting used to, not just for us, but certainly for our kids.
That's right. And in tonight's Kids at Home report, Sandra Ali has some expert advice to help your kids feel more comfortable wearing masks.
The big
Seeing
game.
people wearing masks can be really stressful for children, and for others, getting them to wear one at all can be a challenge.
Can you do a cartwheel and see if your mask stays on?
Angela Condro is spending a lot of time playing outside with her 3 kids, Omar and Elena, who are 10, and 5-year-old Kendall.
Oh.
Is it easy to put on, or?
Yes. All 3 of them are now totally comfortable wearing masks.
Totally comfortable.
It's important to be honest with children so that they know that
this isn't just like a normal time, that we are having to be more
Clinical
careful.
psychologist Donna Rockwell. Sounds like a CIA name.
Right now,
Dr. Donna Rockwell says we have to explain it to children in an age-appropriate way.
there's a germ that's going around, and everybody has to be
Yeah,
really
the government's a germ. The elite's a germ. Shield Gates is a germ. Tom Skanks is a germ.
careful. It's not just
Evil
here in the
germ.
United States, but it's actually in the whole world.
Major retailers like Old Navy launched a new line of reusable face masks for children with kid-friendly designs like anchors, bananas.
Of course they did, because they want to capitalize on the crap. Sick.
And narwhals on them. Disney is doing the same.
It's really
Oh,
important
you know you want some 666 Disney on your frickin' face mask, don't you?
to normalize these masks and the situation we're going through. So practical tips would be, yes, to practice wearing the mask in the house so that when they go outside, they're familiar with this mask situation.
Dr. Donna says you can take away some of the fear by making it fun.
And incorporate the masks into play, especially for toddlers and children who are still involved in play.
Experts say part of what makes it scary for children is
gross,
their loved
man.
ones aren't always recognizable with part of their faces covered.
Someone in a mask isn't actually so scary after all, is it? When you see who's behind the mask.
Right. Most importantly, remember,
See who's
if
behind
you're
the curtain.
uncomfortable wearing a mask, your little one will pick up on that.
Our children pick up cues from us. They are only feeling as safe as we feel safe. When we're with our children, I think we need to put an optimistic and forward-thinking face on the whole situation.
Dr. Donna says if even after all of that, your child still seems stressed out about wearing a mask, she says have them draw some pictures about their experience. That often gets them talking about their feelings.
Oh my goodness.
All right, Sandra, some good tips there. Also on clickondetroit.com, if you missed it, we have some advice from a personal trainer on how to keep kids active at home, both outdoors and indoors when it's raining.
Wow, man. It's just no end to their madness. Oh, it's so sick. Well, it's unreal. It is unbelievable. So crazy. Ha! Look at this. Enough with the mask. A mask is not going to save you from the virus. Do not become puppets of the New World Order. Think for yourselves. Do not follow the Pied Piper. How does COVID-19 affect kids? Science has answers and gaps. We don't know enough, but we do know. What we do know is that some children have died from this disease. It's bullcrap. And some appear to have lingering effects that could be permanent. Bullcrap. So please wear a mask. Practice social distancing for our children. No. And then this says, enough with the mask. More people should care about who is trafficking children than who's wearing a mask. Wear one, don't wear one. Stop forcing people to conform to your beliefs. Many can't wear one. It's hot out there. Wow. Anyway. Rants and raves. Okay. let me throw this out there real quick. And wow, I've already been on for almost 2 hours. That's crazy. Well, we did have to watch that thing there. Here's the link if somebody wants to join me. Hey, good people. Is it time? Oh man, I missed a 420, y'all. Dang. Well, you know what time it is then. Gonna do don't believe the virus hype. Do not believe it. Definitely do not believe the fudged numbers. You know, Florida's the epicenter of COVID-19 in the United States now, because they fired the lady that wouldn't fudge the numbers, and of course they replaced her with somebody that would fudge the numbers, and we're seeing that. I mean, it's like no one has enough common sense to see what, through this. Not enough people. Oh dear. Yeah. So, yep. Anybody want to join me and talk about the mask or anything? I just put the link out there. I'm not going to stay on here much longer because there's a bunch of shows on, good shows on, and then Brian Stavely and Steffi P will be live at midnight Eastern, and everything in between. That's 11 o'clock for Central Time Zone, and then all the way down to 9 o'clock 9 o'clock Pacific Time. Damn. So 12 o'clock Eastern, 11 o'clock Central Time, 9 o'clock Pacific. And I'm sure that'll be a good show, like always. What's up, Ben? Why don't you come on? And you've never been on my show. I don't know if you've even been on, but why don't you tell me what you think about all this around here? You don't have to show your face. I know you've called in. Shows. We got Bolt Gun. Bolt Gun's got something to say. It won't be that he's wearing a mask. I bet that. Howdy how. Welcome.
Hey, how you
Hanging in there. What's going on, brother?
I don't know too much. About the same thing going on here. They're making it mandatory about everywhere to wear that thing.
Right. It's still not mandatory in the county. They announced that they were going to make it, and then they backed out. So as long as I don't shop in the city or at Walmart or the places that definitely are on board with the mask thing, then I could still go right here to my Dollar General that I could walk to in 5 minutes, and I pretty much live out of that Dollar General anyway. I mean, they have a lot of grocery items, a lot of stuff that they got eggs and cheese and all kinds of things. Anyway, but so I eat out a little more too. I've been ordering food, and stuff. But they're not gonna starve me to death. I've got there's too many squirrels and all kinds of things, too. I mean, so I'm not gonna cave in at some point and go, oh, I'm just too hungry. If they close all the stores, no, I'm not gonna. I'm just,
Yeah, we at Walmart, Kroger's, Lowe's, Home Depot. Man, there's a bunch of stores that just announced you have to have a mask to go in.
Yeah, yeah.
And we've still got like
Go ahead.
TSP and Rural King, like our Dollar Generals and stuff like that. You don't have to have a mask to go in those, so we're still using them. But I guess when it gets so all of them are making you wear a mask, we'll use the drive up, and then after that we'll be living off the land, I guess.
Right. Yeah. It's an attack on the way of our way of living. They can't stand the freedom we've had. They obviously have been working to to limit our rights for a long time now. But they they know that it's time. Time is short. We're at the end of a church age. And so there's this all this is fitting together, and they know time is short, and they're gonna just throw everything at us, including the kitchen sink if they can, and that's why we're doing what we're doing to expose what they're doing with no fear, because it's ridiculous to give in to fear of any kind, except for maybe a healthy fear of God, and what He could do to you if you're evil. But I'm saying, I mean, why in the world would a person in their right mind live in fear? Like these people are doing. So much already, man. It's just, man, I just don't get it, dude.
It's just a lack of God.
Yeah, you're right. They have no relationship with God, no true relationship. They have no true faith in God, and they believe the hype. They believe the hype. They believe the lies. I mean, I don't see.
Hey, man, 90% of Americans, you give them an SUV, a house in the suburbs, man, get their kids on a sports team. Mom's got a minivan to run them back and forth to the soccer field. And dude, they're tickled shitless, man. They got some sports, to get to a few NFL games, and some entertainment venues of some kind. I don't know, man. And you threaten that, that's what's going on. That's being threatened, and they're telling them, that's threatened if you don't wear a mask, if you don't comply. They're going to take their entertainment away from them and their status symbol and everything. And now it's enough to make you sick, dude. And their kids are all screwed up in the daggone head. They just, I don't know, they live this American model life, man. You can go in the cities and the suburbs and see it, dude. Everybody's driving the same freaking vehicle. Their kid. It's just
keep up with the Joneses. Yeah.
Right, brother. Yeah, keeping up with the Joneses, man. And you threaten that. And you threaten to take them SUVs, man, and that way of life away from them, and them daggone tickets to the NFL and shit, and they'll eat out of your hand.
Yeah. Well, we're seeing it, and but they've got doctors, man. They got so many doctors that are on board with this. How could we be so naive and how could we be so ignorant to say that they're all lying? I mean, they've got almost every doctor on board with this thing. It's they're going to make us look like fools at some point. They think, because we're we're just we're so outnumbered by the sheeple.
I got a doctor down to VA that I've put my life in his hands. I've trusted this man now for years, and he's helping treat my cancer, and he's the first pain management doctor I had that really helped me. And it broke my heart the other day, man. I saw him in Sam's Club, and he had a mask on. And then it was about a week and a half after that, I went to an appointment, and I went in there, and I had to wear a mask to go down in there, pain management of VA, and I was sitting there with him, and of course, hell, out of habit, I took the thing off. After I got down there, I wasn't even thinking, and sat there through my whole appointment with the thing off. But he had his on, and I asked him how he felt about it, and he said that he thinks that in long term, that this country is going to have a lot of people's going to have serious lung damage, and not know about it, but from the COVID, not the mask. And he thinks that wearing the mask is a good idea. I saw him out in public with it on.
Mm-hmm. So,
I mean, this dude's smart. He's but yeah, I don't know. It stunned me when I saw him with the damn thing on out in public. And like I talked about earlier, I knew it was over, man, when I saw these Amish around here. Not the Mennonites, but the actual Amish. I mean,
yeah.
the ones that still farm with the horses and
They're wearing them?
Hell yeah! I've seen a family of them in a buggy wearing them damn things.
Wow.
I told my old lady when we went by, I said, it's over.
Man.
Heck, going, dude. I mean,
Wow. I can't believe it.
Yeah, that's
wow.
when I saw how deep it was there. Because I'll tell you what, I'd like to get and talk. I've never talked to any of them about the flat Earth. I don't know, because they're old order. Christian. I just wonder how much that's something there I'm going to have to do, I guess.
Yeah. They probably know a decent amount of stuff about the New World Order and whatnot, or at least from a biblical standpoint. But
we know one feller. I can't believe I can't remember his name. He's on with Rose and stuff every now and then, flat smacking people. He went to that nursing home, and that woman that was, I don't know, she was in her 90s or something, and she remembers being taught that the Earth was flat, in the early 1900s or something.
Yeah.
What's that fellow's name?
I can't recall right this minute. Somebody in the chat would probably.
I'm horrible with names, man.
I am too, and for a while I am. Yeah.
He's big in this flat Earth, and he does a real good job of flat smacking people, man. I mean, he's got his ducks in the row.
Is it David Weiss talking about Dirt?
Yeah.
Dirt.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he's doing, man. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's really got his stuff together, man. He does a good job with them people, and he's polite. I can't be like. Man, they get to saying the same thing over and over again. I get too frustrated with people.
Yeah. Yeah. So many people are just falling left and right and complying just fully, and it's so sad that there's not more of us that are seeing through this. But I guess it's a separation of wheat and tares. It is what it is. But
right. I found them I'm seeing driving in the car by themselves with their mask on. It used to be you'd see one dumb enough to be doing it, every now and then, and it's a common occurrence now. Their windows rolled up in a car by themselves with that mask on, suffocating themselves, and they're getting dumber. That's all there is to it.
It's courteous to those who want to wear one, but abide to those who don't. Well, see, that's the thing. They are going to they're going to allow people to get away with shaming us, who don't wear a mask, and they're even going to probably eventually let them get away with beating us up because we're a threat to their health, and so. That's all that. Oh man, it's gonna get so ugly. I mean, it really is.
That's what I thought a good while back that this was way bigger than. I mean, we just couldn't see. You couldn't see it because I originally thought, I'm like, heck, this will be a month or so, and everybody will start realizing
No, I always said it was not going to go away once it, started. This is definitely the prelude to the mark of the beast. So they're not going to even let up for, we saw it. They wouldn't even really let up for a month, dude. They have been pounding this thing down our throats, and
I thought people start waking up. I did not think more people would start falling asleep, and I'm seeing more people wearing masks every time we go into town. Because we live out here like I said, I live in a hall. I mean, there's 2 or 3 houses here on this road, and ain't none of these people around here are wearing masks or believe in it or none of that stuff. But you get in a little bit closer to town, and they all do.
It's everywhere. It's everywhere here. There's just tons and tons of people wearing masks. There's way more. I mean, way more than than what I thought. And then, like when I go into a store, I'm pretty much the only one not wearing one. It's just nuts, dude. I don't know. It's too many people are complying with this crap, dude.
I took the wife into Rural King. I don't know if you guys got them down there in Florida or not.
What is it?
It's called Rural King. It's
No.
like a tractor supply company at TSC. You ever heard of that?
Yeah, we have Tractor Supply, but we don't have.
Yeah. Well,
we don't
Rural
have.
King.
Yeah.
I took her in there, and she's got chickens, and we just every few months we get another 20, 30 chickens to keep them going. And while we was in there, it was a long time before we ran into somebody else that wasn't wearing a mask like us. You get a lot of looks, but that's one of the few stores we still got where it's not mandatory. But I bet 95% of everybody that's in there is wearing them voluntarily.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's sad, dude. Yep. So
yeah, you're probably right. They're going to be hunting us down.
Yeah, I mean, we're highlighted. We're highlighted now too. See, everywhere you go, they can keep track of you a lot easier now. You horrible person, you horrible not, person that's not complying. And so yeah, they've made it to where a bunch of places are giving out free masks, and I mean, we don't have any excuse. And they're gonna make us pay for that, for our choices, and we'll be shamed and whatever else they just we're gonna be persecuted.
Well, I'll tell you another thing that happened there the last day that you could go in Walmart without a mask. We was walking up there, and I told you guys I bought that new mower. And that salesman, when I was in there in his office buying that mower, I said, what do you think about that mask bullshit? He goes, oh, don't get me started. He said, they'll have to get me out of here. He said, I'll get so daggone mad about stuff like that. And I was walking up to Walmart, Tommy, and that old boy come walking out of there with a mask on.
Oh, wow.
And
yeah, the same guy. Yeah.
And he pulled it down so I could see who he was. And I was just standing there, and I'm like, that's just like a daggone salesman.
They tell you what you want to hear.
You don't even know who they are, or some salesmen.
Yeah, a lot of them, car salesmen, all kinds. Yeah, but
But he literally came off to me there in the office like he was all against it, and it pissed him off so bad that he'd almost lose his temper over. They'd have to get him out away from the customers, is the way he made it look. And then he had one on his face when it wasn't mandatory. So
unreal, dude. Yeah. We have Mr. Swain that wants to come in.
Oh, Rick.
What's happening, fellas?
Howdy how?
Hey, Rick.
Sorry to interrupt you. I watched. I walked away for a little bit, and then I seen that you had people on, Tommy, and I had to come in and say hello to both of them.
Cool.
Hello, people. Hello, Boca.
Hey, how you doing?
Howdy, how?
So, let me start off with saying today, my wife had a mask thrown in her face by a cashier, a little teeny bopper at Dollar Tree, and the manager defended her by saying that her uncle just died of coronavirus.
Wow.
Yeah. So she called corporate, but she needs to text corporate.
Ooh, you don't need that many. Wow.
Yeah.
Anybody want some cat treats? Oh, Missy does. Yep. Welcome to the Twilight Zone 24/7, 365.
Right.
I tell you, dude, I'm getting tired of these masketeers, these Flunatics, Covidiots. I mean, I shouldn't have called that lady a B word in that earlier, but it's ridiculous how delusion, how stupid this is, how absurd it is, how exploited it is. But they just
You had it right the first time when you said delusional, Tommy.
Yeah, what the people are, yeah.
Yeah.
They're I don't know if there's any coming back from this. These people that are fully complying with the mask seem to be so delusional that you just can't bring them back to common sense and to our reality, that we try to live in, that's oh dear, where we use our common sense,
Right.
Yeah.
It's too far, man. Like they drank too much Kool-Aid.
Yeah, I mean, that the Kool-Aid could be in whatever, it could be lots of things, including themselves, like the ones that are just so stuck on themselves, that they're delusional because they're, whatever reason, there's so many reasons why you could find yourself delusioned, you displeasing God for too long in your life, and all that, yeah, man, there's these, God is allowing the delusion.
I agree.
I can't think of the amount of people that they're getting to lie. I mean, just to
money, man,
and doing it on the record.
Money and power. The people line up for. Oh, you're gonna give me a lot of money and I get power too over other people. Oh yeah, But like I said, I'm glad that they're having trouble hiring contact tracers here locally, because nobody wants to be a snitch, and that's good. But I'm sure in other places there's people lining up left and right, let me snitch on my neighbor or my, somebody in my community, sign me up. You're going to give me good money and benefits and all that, yeah, there's a lot of yes men and yes women we've found with this new world order. And they're sitting back going, man, we're brilliant because we've got doctors. We've got doctors that are backing us up. They're singing our tune. It's sick, man. It really is very, very sick.
It just goes to show how hard the propaganda is and the indoctrination. That these doctors can't see own physical evidence.
Yeah, that's why I don't want anything to do with doctors, man. If I need one to fix a bone or sew me up if I got cut, that's one thing. But I don't want a doctor practicing witchcraft on me, voodoo magic, pharmaceuticals, all that. I don't want. I'm telling you, I don't want none of their garbage medicine or their garbage, chemotherapy, radiation, any of that crap, man. Any of their, bullshit, man. It's just, it's an attack on everybody. It's eugenics. It's eugenics. There you go. A lot of what they do in hospitals are eugenics. They kill kids every day in places like St. Jude's. They they just don't care. They should be trying every single thing they can besides chemo, radiation, with kids with cancers. But no, that's what they do, and they don't expect your kid to live if you bring them there. Yeah, they're celebrating like it's miracles. If your kid survives St. Jude's, it's sick. I can't. I'm tired of living in this world, man. It's so upside down and ass backwards. Yeah, we lost Bolt Gun, I guess.
Yeah, we did.
But there are so many other shows on right now, man. I want to just hold on. I'm gonna just look real quick. I might just end this just to go see these other great shows that are on tonight, and then in little less than 2 hours, Brian will be live.
Right.
With Steffi. But let's see what we got here. And I'm not screen sharing, but I'm just looking at YouTube real quick. Scare Performance is live. Jesus Freak Computer Geek is live.
He's live right now?
Yeah, Jesus Freak Computer Geek. We might pop in there in a second here. We can screen share it, I guess. And then Mark Sargent with Karen B. Strange World.
Yeah, they're live.
Yeah. Marfugal TV is live. A few others, but anyway. All right, so we got Bolt Gun back in the house.
There he is.
Damn, 1 hour. Damn, see, man, I'm always messed up with time zones, man. And I've lived in a bunch of them.
I've only lived in one my whole life.
A few of them, I guess. I lived in 6 states and 13, 14 cities. God, I can't even remember that now. Oh, dear.
Lived in Philly my whole life.
Whoa. Brian Stabley show is in 1 hour. That's right, because I did say 11 o'clock Central Time. I should have known that. Smoke another one, Tommy. I had a long day at work, man. I really, really did. Phew. 2 days in a row, long days. But I should be off the rest of the week, I hope.
Is it hot down there, Tommy? How hot was it today?
It's hot, but it's not as hot as last year. This July was like 100 degrees, and then your heat index on top of that. Last year, it was ridiculous. A bunch of July was stupid hot, but so we're like 90, 91, 92 with the heat index that takes it around close to 100. But still, it's not as hot as it was last year.
Yesterday, with the heat index, Philly was at 109.
See, I didn't work last summer though. I didn't work last summer.
No, I'm talking about yesterday though.
What?
Yesterday it was 109 with the heat index in Philly. Not last year, yesterday. Today it was nowhere near as hot. It was, I don't even think it reached 90 today here, but yesterday it was 109. on my phone anyway. I read
Right.
one time with the heat index.
Yeah, gotcha. So was it that hot last year?
No.
No. Rick's in Pennsylvania, Jennifer. Pittsburgh, right? Area.
No, Philly.
Oh.
Philadelphia.
Philly. Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Philly, man.
Philly.
Well, Brian, what is your show going to be? Is it going to be about mask and stuff there that y'all dealing with new stuff about the mask, or you don't have to say if you don't want to, but do we have a link? Will you put a link into your show for us in the chat too, if you've got a link ready made? I haven't been on Facebook or anything, so I don't even know if you put the show out yet. What's up, Bolton?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, no, each one of us has not wore a mask, right? Yes? No? I haven't.
I've wore one to go into the cancer center where I get treated for my cancer.
All right,
and
but that
for a doctor's VA, but I always wore. I had to wear one there before anyway.
I got
before the stuff started usually,
Yeah.
or sometimes.
It's hard.
But
It's hard.
I haven't worn one.
Yeah, it's hard to argue with that. A doctor or hospital thing setting.
I haven't worn one to get over. Well, I'm gonna take that back. I got put in a situation that a guy I do a little bit of work for on the side. I had to put a mask on to go in Menards, or I didn't have to. I did it to go in and help him. He didn't have anybody to help him load lumber. He got a couple of little kids and stuff, and man, I couldn't tell him no to over that mask. I stood and looked at it, and I made a decision to go ahead and do it and go in. And if I had to do over again, I'd have just challenged him at the door. But I don't know, I'd probably end up getting arrested and couldn't have helped him. But I did put the mask on to go and help him load material.
Well, you need to resist your tips. Rick, what's up?
Same old. Trying to stay out of trouble. Trying to stay away from people. It ain't much of a lockdown for me, I mean, when I don't wear a mask no more, thanks to Brian.
Oh yeah. My boss wore a mask today to take a couple masketeers around to look at some granite, and he said that was the worst thing he had to do, because he hasn't been wearing one. Yeah, he hasn't been wearing one, but he said it was so horrible and so hot and just miserable, to walk around outside with a mask on, and yeah, but
it's horrible.
Yeah,
it is.
His sister does it when customers come with wearing masks. Now, if they're not wearing masks, she won't wear one, and I've had her, where I've talked to her, she'll take it off, if nobody's around, or whatever. But yeah, it's just crazy, man. It's just crazy town. It's crazy town. Yes.
Yes, it is.
Crazy town everywhere.
So did they pass what they wanted to pass? I didn't catch that part of that, Tommy.
They delayed. All they did was delay the school opening so that they can figure out what they're going to do about the mask. Because they're more likely going to say mandatory mask for all children, 6 and above or whatever,
Right.
Or they might say 4 and above for that matter. Preschool. Yeah. They'll probably say preschool. They know that people, excuse me, people need to get on with their lives and figure out what they're going to do with their kids, so they can work too. And school always was a place, at least for people to have a place for their kids to go while they're working.
Right.
And if they end up doing virtual school, well, then somebody adult has to be there,
right,
with all these young kids. So it's man, oh my gosh, dude, it's an attack on the way we live. It's an attack on the way we live, and and that's just what it is. Look, no, what it is America has surrendered to the New World Order. That's why they're taking all these monuments down. That's what they do. That's what countries do when they surrender to another country.
Boy, yeah.
What do we do in Iraq? We we tore all Saddam's stuff down, and all the crap, all those statues and stuff down. What do we do with Gaddafi? We did the same thing there too. I mean, it's that's what's going on. It's every country is surrendering to the New World Order, to the one world order, New World Order, agenda.
Beast system.
The beast system, yes, the future beast system. Because that's into the tribulation period. It won't be the day the tribulation period starts, but we are seeing the beast system implemented right now. But
right.
it's not fully in place and fully operational, or else you would have a chip, I'd have a chip, or they'd be trying to chip us.
Right. Yeah.
Or we'd be dead or something. Or FEMA can't. Whatever, but so when you see that, which is coming now, I mean, I'm telling you, that's why they're being so strict and hard and demanding on this, on everybody believing and complying with COVID-19 is so that you will be more prepared to comply with the vaccine and the eventual mark somehow, whatever the the whatever way they mark you, Boltgun had to drop out again.
They're saying that they want to have a vaccine by the end of the year. That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
And they'll probably have it because they probably got them.
Because they already had it when this went on, when this popped off.
But what they're thinking, sure, they probably had it, some of it, but now they're having to make up all these batches, so they can, because they want everybody, that's billions of that take anybody a little while to get that in place, don't you think?
Well, it all depends on how long they've been planning this for.
Well, I know that, but Steve,
you know what I mean?
Even they didn't know it was going to work this good, though.
Right. Still,
every other time they've tried this with the flu, it has not worked. In 2009, they got people to buy masks. I bought masks. Just to have in case
it got bad.
Yeah, it got bad. Right. I even thought about whatever. I don't know, but just I wasn't buying into it. I just I saw. Anyway, I saw how fast. See, they were like, oh, they're going so fast. That's the whole thing. I bought a case and I had them for like a couple years, man, before I gave them out to everybody or whatever, you know,
Right.
threw them away and stuff, you know, because I never used them. But yeah,
I mean, Tommy, they're coming out with all this stuff, and like some of the stuff that they're implementing now, like the one thing that they're doing over in Africa, it was started 2 years ago with the contact tracing. When they started it, it was started 2 years ago.
Well,
So
yeah, because that's their test model. That was their testing on in another country. You
I
know,
understand that, but I'm just saying that, like,
what?
who knows how long ago, like this vaccine that they want to implement at the end of the year could have been made 5 years ago.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? We really don't know. You know what
yeah.
I'm
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And even if the vaccine was perfectly safe, it's you know, and it could very well be just, you know, so I doubt it, but I'm just saying. But you know, even if it was, you know, harmless, the mark is coming. They're going to the mark that you got, the you know, that you complied. It's all about compliance, folks. It doesn't matter if it's freaking you know, nothing in the syringe. You know, it doesn't matter. It's about getting you to comply, and then, you know, eventually getting the mark of the beast in whatever form it comes, and that's it. Once you've done that, you're done. You are absolutely done. Your fate is sealed, and you know there's no coming back from getting the mark of the beast. And
Right.
there are so many people that would take it today. They would take it today. There's millions or billions that would take it right now. They'll take it when it comes too. You just wait and see, you know. But we know better.
Right. Volkov said he couldn't hear either one of us, so he dropped out.
Well, all he had to, yeah, well, he just had to come back in or something. He'd have been fine, but that happens all the time. But anyway,
No,
yeah,
I agree, Tommy. You know, it is all, you know, conditioning. You know, no matter how you look at it.
yeah, we're seeing the birth pangs. You know, the Revelation 12 verse 1 and 2 sign happened on 9/23/2017, and we've seen a bunch more signs since then, and you know there's more to come. But it's, you know, it's all playing out. Revelation is playing out, and it will continue to play out until it's done. Ooh, excuse me. But yeah, man, it's just crazy, dude. It's crazy town, and we just need to prepare for the worst and hope for the best. But we need to have our house in order. We need to, you know, consider having a healthy relationship with God if nobody in here doesn't already, or whatever, somebody doesn't, you know, and just, man, just love the truth enough to spread it, and just, you know, stand up and speak up against all this tyranny. Don't wear a mask. You know, I mean, goodness gracious, man, it's not that hard. Just don't put it on ever. It's still in the package. See these two still in the package. I'm not going to ever take them out and wear them. You know, they're right there, and they're nice. They're nice. They're brand new, washable, made in Vietnam. You know, these are very high quality, you know, masks, but
You know better.
And I mean, think about it. Would I put one on? Would I put one of those on if they said, "Oh no, we just got attacked by Russia or China or whoever or both"? You know, they dropped chemical weapons on us. No, I wouldn't put that on, because that wouldn't save me. It would not. And
Right.
and really, unless I had one like what's his name has Voynich with the cartridge on it, you know.
That's sealed.
Yeah. I mean, and who knows if that's even going to save you? I mean, it's come on, man. If you need to live in that much fear, then something's not clicking right, in your brain. Because I'm telling you, I don't know. It's nuts, dude. No fear, no fear.
Imagine, yeah, that is true. Like, imagine, like, if you take that even further, like, when you get home, you're in a vacuum chamber. You know what I mean? Like, they want to all put us in like smart cities and shit like that. So when we would get home, let's just say we were in a high rise, and to get in the high rise or to get in the apartment building, you had to go through something that was, a door, but it was a vacuum chamber, like to take off your face mask and all that, gloves and all that kind of shit, just to get into your home.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
No doubt about it.
It would be really crazy.
Yeah. I'm sure rich people are buying that stuff. Yep.
Right, have their house.
They have systems you can get for your home AC unit that have lights, UV lights that kill. They're gonna put those in schools probably. They're gonna. I wonder, man. I really wonder if they will even let kids back in, even with masks. I don't know. It just seems like the virtual learning is going to catch on like wildfire, and that's the future. Is kids? Every kid's going to be at home on the computer.
That's where they want them, right?
It's funny that I don't know why, but they I guess they do. They're ready to end school as we know it. As far as maybe yeah.
You got to look at all the other things they're changing too, Tommy. They want to do away with cash. So why wouldn't they want to do away with the educational system too?
Yeah, it could be for the reset. Yeah, because there's definitely a reset coming where they're going to everything is going to be reset and changed to the one world everything, one world currency, one world religion, one world government education. Yeah, sure, healthcare. Everything. Yes. It'll be.
And it'll all be on that little fucking chip.
It'll have something to do with it. Yeah, definitely. It'll have the code on there that you can access.
Everything on there, man. Maybe not to begin with, but eventually everything will be on that.
Yeah. But see, even with that, they'll say that not everybody can see that, like they'll it's like, but they will be able to they'll like I'm saying is like if every little thing you do is a data point, if everything you do is tracked and recorded or whatever, then that's a lot of information they're going to have on people, and a lot of ways that people could blackmail you or whatever. They could blackmail
do something,
or pre-crime. The minority report stuff.
Yeah. Have that thought recognition, like the pre-crime, to say you're, arrest you for something that you didn't do.
That they say you're gonna do.
Right. A thought crime, I think they called it in Minority Report.
Oh boy. But anyway, man, I think this is about time to wrap this up. I'm starting to yawn, and I already made one person yawn, but this was kind of just by off the cuff, just quick show. I saw that I watched the board meeting thing, and I was like, man, I just got to share this and talk about it because it's just sad that so many people in my community, are buying into this and promoting, demanding mask.
Right.
Oh, it's terrible. Well, all right, everybody. I appreciate everybody being here. Thanks again for joining me, Rick. And
Not a problem.
God bless you and everybody else. May God bless us all and keep us.
Peace and love, everybody.
Yep. Thank you. I'm gonna go catch one of these shows, and then I'm gonna probably take a Epsom salt bath and then go to bed. All right, have a great one, man. Until next time.
Yep. Catch you later, people.
All right. Peace, everyone. Good to see you all.